Great, so we're going note for liquid thunderous here. Alright, so in our verse part we're going A, F sharp minor, and D, and that's already an outside the changes progression. D is actually not in, or no it is because we're playing in E. So, but he really kind of stretches out with what's in the key here, putting D in this and then putting G in the next section, so it's like it modulates. Anyway. So we've got this. Yeah, that's it. So that's it right there. So anger. Yeah. And then we get this. So what we're seeing there is we got this D, like movable C shape, which if we just start taking notes away, we've got, and then we've got, and we use both of them a fair amount. So all three, like under the bridge chord, and then just that. So that there we go. So we get this. Well, we'd often expect to have this D in there. So there we are. So that's our trip. We've got. And there's our first time through the progression. Alright, cool. So green. And this is probably the most important phrasing for us to learn from the whole thing. That's not that weird. It's like, here's my A chord, and we always do stuff like that with our pinky, so we're just talking about that's normal. And then behind the chord, that you can always go. And it's like, there it is. Same exact notes, wrong fingers. And this. So A, G. So we're doing something that's in the chord. Then we're doing something that's behind the chord, but we're hammering onto a note in the chord. That's actually in the chord. So there we go. So, but either way, there's a lot of songs where people do things like, go to this behind the chord thing. So there we go. Cool. And then the next one he goes. So there it was just all single notes except for, in the first one he went 3 strings. Now he's going. So there we go. So we got. Cool. And then he goes. Cool. So that's our F sharp is. We trails that off, and then he goes. F sharp minor, B, F sharp minor, G, and that brings us to the next section. So just that last time was. Which brings us to the next section in the song, which is the D, where he starts right out playing over his lines, which is weird. So we got this for D. There we go. So, D. Just this part. So we go. So earlier we went, a lot of the time that would be like, what's this in there, like D blues type stuff. That's what he does this time. He goes, anyway, so it's, fucking, after that, which is based on that same chord shape thing we were just talking about, where it's like here's an A, here's us doing that behind the chord thing, the from. So he goes. So just the last two are just pinky on the third string, no pinky on the third string. So that's like that. So it's this that actually has this melody line in it. That's what we're doing. And then it goes B minor. We got our. So yeah, there we go. So it's D thing, but D F sharp, D F sharp, like that. But it's D over F sharp. So we've got we're on the bottom line of what we wrote. It's like it has to be. Oh, sorry, let me listen down. Alright. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, so here we're going with G and then open strings. Then we do that same thing we've been doing in the behind the chord thing. It says. And it's really interesting how he's using open strings when most people don't. So there we went. And that's as far as we really got, except that the next thing starts with like, we go to D and he's doing this. So there we go. The whole thing, the last time through, went. This. Yeah, totally. There it is. Let me just do that again without having to be all shady. Cool. So we've got this. There we go. So, there's our shape. So we've got. I'm just going to try the whole thing for fun. Brother. So that's tricky, and that's why we're doing it. But either way, the point kind of is like, there's minor, and here's D major, where you can do that same stuff, and then it was just like D, B minor, F sharp minor, and then all this, with just your index finger works for F sharp minor. But if you're using B minor or D, you gotta get this note in there. I want to try this one more time. I'm not going to mess it up this time. Matters. Sick. So there's a good one. I'm just going to do it again because it's fun. You're welcome to pack up. But that was Anyway, so we kind of stumbled through that, but there it is still.